I'm fine. Do you ever have those moments where your brain's just... Yeah, that's me right now. Vanilla, stay man. The brain is not braining today, you know? The drool. Ramadan Mubarak to all of you, to anyone celebrating, and to those who don't, well, I hope you enjoy the festive season with some yummy food and some good time with family. Hi ninjas and welcome back to my YouTube. Today we are making phyllo crinkle pie, phyllo crinkle cake, whatever it is you call it, we are making that. I mean, this is the viral video that I'm watching, which is basically phyllo pastry and custard baked together with a bit of flavorings and, you know, Bob's your uncle. But we're obviously going to take it up a notch. Why? Because we can. Okay. It was just phyllo pastry and egg custard, and I was like, what's the hype? It's phyllo pastry and egg custard. Cut to 1 year later, it's just phyllo pastry and egg custard that makes this recipe so good. It is honestly one of the best desserts you're going to make. It's ready in under 30 minutes. It is super simple to prepare. It feeds a crowd. I mean, you probably have most of these ingredients any which ways in your fridge. You just need to probably buy some phyllo pastry, and you can easily do that. There's no problem. We are turning this phyllo crinkle pie into my Middle Eastern version of it. I'm gonna have a little bit of cinnamon, orange blossom water, rose water, pistachios, dried rose petals, and honestly, it is amazing. If you are anything like me and you've joined this party late, there's no problem. We just start a new party. It is such a simple dessert to make. Perfect in time for Ramadan. I mean, coincidental? I think not. But it is definitely a crowd pleaser that you can feed anyone and everyone. And it just takes like less than 30 minutes to mix, to bake all together. All together. Do you know what I mean? Before we get into the recipe, I have to say that if you have any comments or any requests for what you'd like me to make, please drop them in the comments down below so I can see them. And who knows, I might actually make it for you. Now let's get baking. So there are essentially 3 parts to this recipe. The first is the phyllo pastry. So you can buy this in stores and it comes in rolled up sheets just like this. You want to crinkle the pastry into your baking tray. You want to ensure that the pastry fills the baking tray completely. You don't want any spaces at the edges, so you can always stuff more towards the end. You want to bake this for 10 minutes and then we get started with our custard. That's part 2 of the recipe. We literally mix all the ingredients for the custard into a little bowl or a container like I have. I have added cinnamon, vanilla, and a little bit of orange zest. You can add any flavorings of your choice. Once the phyllo pastry comes out of the oven, you want to add your melted butter. Now I have added brown butter instead because I think the flavor is just so much more delicious. But you can just go in with melted butter, and then you want to bake it again for 10 minutes. When it comes out looking more golden, add in your mixed custard mixture and just let this bake for another 10 minutes more. I've said 15 minutes just in case you need a couple of extra minutes depending on the size of your baking tray. I have then gone on to the third part of this recipe, which is the syrup. I've added a little bit of orange blossom water and a little bit of rose syrup, but you could also add whole cardamom and whole saffron. You then want to pour over your syrup while it's still warm. I mean, would you look at how beautiful and delicious it is? So that's all great, but tasting is more important. Now I have not tried this and I don't know what it tastes like. So we're gonna eat it together, and this is either gonna go really good or really bad. First, we need to hear the crunch. So what we want is golden crispy edges on top, which is basically what's going to give you that beautiful crunch when you bite into it. But what we want at the bottom is like layered phyllo dough with custard that's soft and soggy, custardy, but just also delicious. So you get the crispy and the soft. Okay. Oh man, I mean, you could totally do more syrup at this stage when you're serving it, but honestly, I don't like things too sweet, you know, where you get tooth-numbingly sweet. I like it just the borderline sweetness, and this is perfect. And it is so light. Ideally, you want to serve this with some pistachio ice cream, some vanilla ice cream, whipped... This is good with ice cream basically, or anything cold, because this is hot and it's best served warm, so it really works well with each other. But I'm relishing it like this. I mean, so all I can say is, if you like this recipe, do like, comment and share it with anyone you think who would love to make this recipe, or who you would want them to make it for you. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you doing? Come on, just subscribe already. I've told you this before, it's old news. Get to it. Get to the other side of deliciousness. I have a very detailed recipe written up on the blog as always, which has got a bunch of substitutes, flavor ideas, storing options, serving options that you might want to read through. Have a look at it. The link is somewhere down below, so make sure you check it out. Until my next video, all I can say is ninja out. Gonna turn that off now.